Greetings, I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. Welcome to our channel, especially if you're here for the first time, because this is where we not only tell it straight, but I was a divorce mediator before I became a marriage saver. In 2001, a couple asked me to help them save their marriage. And it wasn't unusual. This is the topic for men to call me. And they go, my wife wants a divorce, but I don't know what I can do to save our marriage. And okay, come on in. This, of course, was after I stopped being a divorce mediator. But the reason I stopped being a divorce mediator is because when that couple asked me to help them, I said yes. I probably shouldn't have, because I wasn't a psychologist, but they had gone the route of couples counseling. They tried everything, and they were desperate. So I called up some of my friends who were couples counselors, were therapists, and some very well-known. And I was in San Diego, so I had the best of the best to choose from. They would send me my customers, good people. And I said, okay, what should I do? They said, well, sit there and ask them what's going on, what's the problem, why do you want to get a divorce, da-da-da-da-da. And I thought, you know what? I went through that because by this time I was divorced, and I had set up this business practice that I had of being a divorce mediator because I wanted to help people avoid the courts, because I went through it and it's brutal. So here I was, really a businessman, trying to act like a therapist. It didn't seem right. And then I thought, well, if I was starting a business, I looked at marriage kind of like a business. Why do I want to get married? And I thought, wow, I never asked myself this unbelievably pertinent question. So I didn't know why. I mean, I did it because everyone does it. And I thought that can't be why most people get married. And I thought, well, I fell in love. That can't be all there is to it. Sure, you fall in love, but even back in that day, you could just live with each other if you wanted. And so I started asking people. I would even be standing in line at a Starbucks, and I'd ask the people standing around, I said, you're married, I could see the ring on your finger. Why did you get married? Oh, I fell in love. Da, da, da. No. Why get married? I don't know. And weeks I was asking. No one had an answer. And so finally the answer came to me. And it was so simple that it was ridiculous. And this is important for you, because this is why your wife wants to get a divorce, is because the opposite is happening for her. We get married because we want to be happy. And I thought, this is too simple. This can't be all there is. And then I asked myself, okay, there's got to be more to this. Well, what makes a person happy? Well, the obvious is, you with someone you love, you hang out together, you share experiences, you have children, da-da-da. And I thought about my own family, and honestly, my parents' marriage was not happy. And I thought of my friends' parents, kind of happy, kind of not. I thought of my relatives. At least half of them screamed at each other and stuff, wasn't happy. And okay, that's not a great sampling, but then I thought, okay, what makes you happy? Universally, what makes everybody happy? Again, I had to think about it, ask people, da-da-da. And it occurred to me finally, there's one universal answer. Now, I'm not going to say subscribe, or I'm not going to tell you, but please subscribe. It helps our numbers, and please like the video. The only thing that makes every single human being happier is love. You ask anybody, can you think of anything in terms of what makes you happier than love? And there isn't anything. A brand new car, all this money, a job promotion. It's fleeting happiness. It doesn't last. But love is like ever expanding. So there you have it, okay? And I told my couple in our first session, look, I know why you got married. You got married because you wanted to be happier and you wanted to experience love that is only available within a marriage, and up until now you've been blowing it. So here's what we're going to do, and I'm going to go right through it with you because it was the beginning of the answer. Don't forget, this was 2001. Now it's 2024, almost 25 years later. And it took 8 years of my working with couples to develop a complete process and system, which we now have as in your case, a course for men. We also have a course for women, and you don't both take them. That's a fallacy. But I'll tell you what I did with them that I'm doing with you right now, in case you don't want to take the course. I asked them if they can catch themselves before they open their mouth and think, is this going to make my wife happy or defensive? It's binary. I wanted to break everything down into binary choices because that's what you do in business, right? It's like, do I go left or right? Do I go straight or stop? Binary choices. So is what I'm about to do going to contribute to our marital happiness? Is it going to infuse love? And what I did with my couples is I described marriage as a vessel. And in this vessel, before you get married, when you first meet each other and you realize you're soulmates, the whole vessel is filled with sweetness. Why? Well, you can't deny that one is because you found the right one. They are your soulmate. But then what happens during the dating process is you're so careful with, remember, you're so careful with what you say, with how you react to things. You pay attention to what she's talking about. How is she feeling? What can I do for her? Remember? And then you're going through the courting, similar but not as much. Then you get married and right? Everyone's the same. Don't take it personally. Why? Because no one teaches us about marriage. No one teaches us that the very purpose of marriage are also our guiding principles, the pole stars for marriage: happiness and love, and there's a third, harmony. Now, you go to our website and you could download the 10 top do's and don'ts for marriage, and you should, but they're pretty obvious. You don't get mad at your wife. You don't. There's no reason to. There's nothing making you get mad except a relaxed sense of overfamiliarity where you really haven't cared. You argue. Why would you argue in marriage with your soulmate? It turns soulmate into cellmate, doesn't it? So these principles are vital. And this is what we teach in the course. So if you don't want to take the course, if you think you can wing it, and I don't think you can, again, we've been doing this for close to 25 years now, and so we know when a marriage is on the verge. Your marriage is on the verge. If your wife wants a divorce, if you're still living together, the course is going to take you out of that. It's going to stop the trend fairly soon, and then the trend's going to change. If she's already moved out and she wants to move on, the course won't help you. You still should learn how to behave so you could get along with her, because love is still there. It could be clouded over, but you're still soulmates. So this is it. Okay, I'll repeat it again, but I'll also repeat my request for you to subscribe to the channel and to like the video. Before you speak, before you walk into the same room she's in, before you talk about anything with her, think, is what I'm about to say going to contribute to love and happiness and harmony. And if it's not, just shut up. You don't have to say something all the time. Also, change your overall demeanor. Nobody likes a sourpuss. You know, it's a psychological skunk when you walk around with a frown on your face or pouty or in a mood or angry and all that. It's not how to live within your marriage. You want to live in your marriage in a way that contributes to the purposes of marriage, and then the benefits come. So using our process, you're not going to just stop the divorce if you catch it in time, and probably you are. It's going to take everything and turn it topsy-turvy in a positive way, which is what you want to do. Again, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. I'm so happy that you came here. I'm going to leave a link so you could see the reviews. We don't edit them. These are people who have really had their marriages completely turned around. And look, I'm not a miracle worker. I'm a businessman, you might say. Okay, so I'm a marriage saver now. But the thing of it is, everything I do is very practical. It makes total sense. All the dots will connect. And you will have a happy marriage. Glad you stopped by. Thank you. God bless you. God bless your wife. And don't worry. Do something that works. Take care.